I've dabbled with this piece for years, always wanted to record it. It needs one to a part. It's got to have that highly personal delivery of text that is still internal, it's still suitable for a church service, but it has those colours and that delivery of words that you can only do, the intensity to it that you can only do one to a part. And with this particular group of Fagiolini, you always ask yourself, why now? It's because these singers, Matt, Martha, Rebecca, Greg and Freddie, have the sounds, have that hyper-tuning, hyper-awareness of acoustically pure intervals to make the piece almost scream at you, despite the fact that you appear to be doing so little with it. Tenebrae, or Shadows, is a set of 3 services for Holy Week in the run-up to Easter. They combine the services of Matins and Lauds, and on Maundy Thursday, Good Friday and Holy Saturday, they comment in their responsories to the lessons, on the narrative of Christ. The services were held in the evening, and during them, 15 candles representing Christ, the 3 Marys and the 11 apostles, not Judas Iscariot, were gradually extinguished, leaving the church in darkness.
And what I'm loving about doing it like this is that it's all sort of far less polite, much more dramatic. I think the single voices thing and the key, but there's certainly the single voices element, means everything's kind of in technicolor. The nastier stuff is nastier, the sadder stuff is sadder. All the emotions are heightened this way, and it's just, for me, it gives us far more scope to tell the story.
And we've had the luxury of quite a lot of rehearsal, and so for me, what I'm discovering is that, like with all the best music, you start to feel the text. And I'm getting this sense, a bit like with Bach, that although this was written a long time ago, there's a real romanticism to it, and we are really starting to feel bigger things and express bigger things than perhaps you might think for music from this time in other settings.
We're really looking out for each other as well as singers. We get to know each other's voices incredibly well, and we're there for each other, knowing when someone might be flagging and just giving them the moral support, giving them the space to breathe, and then doing just that one more take. And then it just sings, the tuning rings, and it's a pretty great feeling when we nail that take.
The immensity of the building and the lavishness of the acoustic is a really great juxtaposition to the almost vulnerability and exposure that we feel as just 4 singers, one to a part. Breath control is required to just find the ends of these lines in this immense space. It's a real, well, I'm having an absolutely fantastic time on these sessions.
Polyphonic settings of these responsories are few and far between. Orlando's Lassus, Carlo Gesualdo, and above all Victoria, whose 4-part ones were published in Rome in 1585. He'd been working there for quite a while and was just about to move back to Madrid. And they're incredibly intense, they're austere, they're distilled music. There's nothing wasted. It's like a sort of French chef's jus, just distilled down to the absolute bare essentials. One of the points of this recording is to record it at the pitch and with the voicing that Victoria would have recognised. Famously, in the 20th century, this piece was recorded by Westminster Cathedral Choir at the written high pitch, and it's an amazing recording directed by George Malcolm, incredibly passionate. But Victoria meant these clefs to imply transposition down a fourth into a normal Renaissance vocal lineup for church music, which is a sort of mezzo, high tenor, baritone and bass. And that really stamps a sort of gravitas on the piece.
Yeah, really nice, thank you.
A couple of things. In 31, Martha, I think on the Mi, on the G, you're a little bit flat there, and also on the C in the following bar, on the quid. And I wanted a tiny bit more on the B flat in the following bar as well, Dor Mi.